Hey, boys and girls, back again. So, yesterday we took a look at the water cycle and what it was, and we saw how it began, of course, from the earth and it evaporated with the heat of the sun or a warm day. And as it heated, it turned into water vapor, and the water vapor rose up, joined, and as it got colder, as it rose, it joined together to form clouds. And when it got too heavy, it came back down to earth, and we saw different elements that it went into. So today we're going to take a look at the wonderful water cycle and how it continues to move, but also how we're using it. So water everywhere. Where is water? The question should be, where isn't water? 3/4 of Earth is blanketed by water. People, plants, and animals are all made up mostly of water, and every little thing needs water to survive. We use water every day for drinking, bathing, and flushing toilets. Water is used for cleaning, generating power, and for recreation. Water is very important for agriculture too. So, agriculture is talking about our farms, the animals, things like that. Salt water versus fresh. Most of the Earth's water isn't usable in everyday life. Over 96% of our water is salt water, which can't be used for cooking and drinking. So think about it. If you've been in the ocean, after you're done swimming in the ocean, you know that gross feeling on your lips, and you don't want to drink that water because there's just so much salt in it. 60% of the world's fresh water withdraws toward irrigation. Large-scale farming couldn't provide food for the world's population without irrigation systems. Many farmers are able to get all of the water their crops need from rainfall, but in drier areas, farmers use other ways to get water to their fields. They use a process called irrigation to pump water from other sources like lakes and rivers through ditches, canals, and pipes. Did you know that when you take a sip of water from a fountain at school or from the tap at home, you're not getting new water? The water you're drinking has been on Earth forever. All of the water we have now is all the water we ever had and ever will have. Our water travels in a never-ending process called the water cycle. So the water you drink has been around since the age of dinosaurs. Ooh, prehistoric times. Pretty cool. Water magic. Water is matter. We just finished our unit on matter. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. It can be a solid, liquid, or gas. Did you know that water can be all three? Water can change forms. Water is not always a liquid. It can freeze into solid ice. It can boil and become a gas. Puddles of water dry up on a sunny day. Does the water in the puddles just disappear? No. The water evaporates. This means that the water is absorbed into the air around it. Tiny water particles called molecules are in motion. They bounce off one another. Some of these moving molecules hit and fly free. They move into the air. This forms water vapor. Adding heat makes them move faster. That's why evaporation is faster on warm days, of course. So on a day that is 70 degrees, if there's a puddle outside, it's not going to dry up as much as a day that's 90 or 100 degrees, because that's going to go real quick. Now, if you own a fish, you probably change part of the water in your fish bowl each week. When you do this, you probably notice that some of the water you added the week before, it's gone. Where does it go? That's right, it evaporates. So making rain. When air that's full of water vapor cools, it changes the gas back to a liquid in the form of tiny water droplets. So you see how matter goes together, solid, liquid, gas, helping our water cycle. This is condensation. water continues to condense. So condense means to come together, forming the clouds in our sky. When the clouds get so large and heavy that air can't support them anymore, the water falls down as precipitation, more commonly known as rain, sleet, snow, or hail. So precipitation, form of rain, snow, sleet, hail. And then we have our water cycle that we talked about yesterday. It's the continuous movement of water on, in, and above Earth. It has 4 parts, okay? Evaporation. Sun heats the water in oceans, rivers, lakes, causing water turn into water vapor, rises to the air. Condensation, that's that stuff you feel. Once in the air, so now it's evaporated, it's in the air, here it is. Okay? As it's in the air, cools, liquefies, forming clouds. Precipitation. Ooh, cloud's too heavy, right? So boom, it's gonna fall down as precipitation. And so much water condenses, the air can't hold it anymore. Heavy clouds, the water falls back to earth as rains, hail, sleet, or snow. Collection. The water may fall back into oceans, rivers, or lakes, may end up on land. As it ends up on land, it may soak into the earth, become part of its groundwater, or run over soil, collect back into the oceans and rivers and lakes, and then the cycle starts all over again. What happens to rainwater? Some rainwater seeps into rocks and soil underground. Reservoirs are man-made places where water is collected and stored for future use. Some water flows into rivers and some collects in reservoirs where it can be pumped out for human use. The water in the reservoir isn't clean though. It's full of mud, dangerous chemicals, germs, and trash. The water has to be made clean enough to drink. This water is pumped into a water treatment plant. Machines at treatment plants filter out the solid waste in the water, and special cleaning chemicals are added to kill germs. So this is what the aquifers are. An aquifer is an area of saturated underground rock through which water easily moves. The rock includes sandstone, broken limestone, sand, and gravel. A hole called a well, so see the well right here, right there, is drilled into the ground. Hey, come back. Sorry, guys. It's drilled into the ground and into the aquifer. Water from the aquifer either fills out or is pumped out for use. So, all down here, that water is used. Washed away. When you flush your toilet or let the water run down your sink, the water isn't clean anymore. Ooh, of course not. It's now called sewage. Sewage travels through another maze of pipes back to the treatment plant to be cleaned and filtered and made safe all over again. So there's a whole process here with the sewer treatment that it continues. Scientists and inventors work hard to come up with practical and inexpensive ways to purify water in developing countries. One interesting innovation is a straw that filters water before it touches lips. Another is a bicycle that not only hauls water, but also uses kinetic energy to filter it. Water towers hold that water. Drought. Oh, not a good time. Not a good time. A drought is a long period of time, usually months or years, without rain. Drought is determined by a lack of precipitation and the change in the balance of the average amount of rain and evaporation. Droughts can lead to crop damage, water shortages, dust storms, and wildfires. It's very hard to survive those droughts, especially remember we talked about how farmers need rain to help with their agriculture. Wasting and pollution. Almost 7 billion people live on Earth, have to share the world's water supply in order to survive. That's the entire Earth. We have to be careful not to waste it. Every day, people let leaky faucets drip and leave the water running when not necessary. Oh, it becomes such a problem. We need to work to keep our water supply clean. Too often, careless people litter our waterways. We know we've seen that in the Hudson River. with things like dropped wrappers, forgotten water bottles, chemicals in the smoke from vehicles and factories attack the water vapor in the air, causing more acid rain to fall to Earth. We don't want our water supply to become so dirty that people and wildlife can't use it and take pleasure in it. And that's what happens here. This steam that's coming out of these factories turns into water vapor and it's creating our clouds. And then it's coming back down as acid rain. Not a good thing. So, caring for our wonderful water. Some governments have laws to help protect the water supply, but we all have to do our part. Conserve water by turning off the water faucets when you don't need the water right away. Take quick showers and turn off the water while you soap up. When doing dishes, fill the sink with water. Turn the water off when washing. Don't run the water again until you're ready to rinse. It's important that we take care to keep our water clean and use it wisely. We want our limited fresh water supply to be used and enjoyed forever by everyone. So, again, remember, our earth is shared. We're not the only ones using it. It's going to be for your kids and grandkids and so on. So let's conserve, let's take care. See you soon.